Hey guys, Tobor here with another cool factorial, another Factorio tutorial. I like to call them factorials, actually. Okay. This is actually a rail signal tutorial. I know a lot of people have trouble with them in Factorio, so, yeah, let's just get the little necessary parts. Now this tutorial will include just straight tracks with trains, how it works with cargo wagons, fluid wagons, multi-layered tracking that goes over each other, multiple trains on a singular track, multiple trains on multiple tracks intersecting and crossing. This is going to be a hefty one, so put on your thinking cap. There's a lot of stuff to do. I don't know what this stuff is actually. Now coal. I actually don't know where coal is. Alright, now step 1 of the tutorial will be just a basic rail and a track. Let's start with something like this. Okay. Right here. Perfect. Just a little track. Now, if we just slap a train on it, nothing happens, right? Let's pop in some fuel. We want it on a schedule, right? That's the point of trains, to go around, collect resources, yada yada. So you'll need a train stop. This is just the very basics, but depending on what side of the rail you put it on, also determines it's the best way for which side of the rail is coming from, right? So we want it to go this way, counterclockwise, right? Yeah. Yeah. So let's just shove on some of this. Let's say there's a ton of clickers and stuff here, like, right? And we want it to automatically route in resources like coal and stuff. Well, that's pretty simple. That's self-explanatory. You wouldn't do it where it's not even touching anything, actually. But let's say it's full, or when it has some of this stuff. Okay. Pop in the fuel. Go, go, go. Well, it's set to manual. Now it's set to automatic. It's ready to go, right? You can set conditions. There's no station currently, so the game's just kind of like, what the heck? But you add one, boom, it's gonna start going. And you can die to it. But, I'm not thankful. So, boom. Okay, it went once. But we want it to go all the time. So you add a wait condition. So let's say after like 1 second. Alright, it should be going. I'm quite sure why not. Alright, now I figured it out. So it's sitting here waiting for another station to go to. It's ready here, it's good. So for this demonstration, let's add 2. This is pretty standard. So you'd have one station here where the resources and such are, and then one here at the main facility, base, compound, you know, to dump it and use it there. Usually much messier, across much greater distances over water, through cliffs, underneath stuff. Yeah. So if we add this to part of the dump, boom. Okay. So it's just going to keep going over and over. It has no wait conditions. Nothing more for it to do. Perfect. It's going to keep on going until it runs out of fuel. You can set custom wait conditions to each stop. So stop here when you have 200 iron. Go again when you have 0, when it's all gone. And the opposite for here. When you have 0, stay. When you have 200, go. Okay. Now, let's say you want it to be twice as fast. Da-da! How'd you do that? Well, simple. You add 2 trains. Boom. Because when you're going to have a massive mine on top of resource patches, it's going to be mining 24/7. So what you'll want is 2 trains constantly carrying iron, depositing it, going back to carry more, and then there's another train already on the way with more, and then one depositing. Boom, boom, 24/7. You'd also have things inserting coal automatically. It's crazy. And this is still like the basic tier, so put some fuel in this. Add the 2 stations. Add the station. Oop. Alright, let's go. Boom shakalaka. Oh, whoa, 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 what is happening? Oh, good lord, they are crashing into each other. For example's sake, oh my gosh, you can see it's just mayhem. Let's say that this is busy taking in iron, right? Receiving it. You have a train also empty with iron trying to get some, and then it's just destroying this one, ramming into it. You can see the health slowly depleting on the right. Ridiculous. So, how would you fix this? Little nifty thing called rail signals. Right. Let's put the train stop back. Alright. Let me put this to manual for a second. Oh, manual, manuel. Works out. So, oops. How do you use rail signals? Well, basically what it says here. It turns the rail system into blocks and allows multiple trains on the same network or on intersecting networks, junctions, interjunctions, blah blah blah. Now instantly, just by hovering, you'll see they work pretty similarly to train stops, where the side of the rail you put them on determines where the trains will come and go. So they're going counterclockwise. Let's put one about here. And you can see, just by hovering, where the train will stop, right? So if there's a train right here, we'll want to put the second train that's waiting for it probably there, right? Fits right around the corner, the bend here. It allows space for if this train quickly comes here and this one's still waiting, boom, boom, they don't crash into each other. Now, you'll want to pay attention to the colored lines, because that's actually how the blocks are displayed. So right here, You can see it's flashing because it's just kind of sitting there. Yeah, no segments to divide or manage yet. So what the blue line is it's seeing this as one block, one segment. And you'll want to put another where that actually ends. So let's go just stand by it right there about. So I want another about there. Perfect. Maybe there. Okay. This is enough space, a little more actually. Ample space for a train to wait, especially one of this size. This is one block. And how the signals work is they read ahead. You can see right here. They read the block that's directly ahead. And if it's red, well, that means to the trains, stop, don't go, wait for the whatever's there to be on, the object, the train. If it's green, it means there's nothing ahead in this block. So you can see right here. This one's reading the block ahead, the blue. Boop, nothing there. Empty. So it's telling this train, you can go right now. So let's turn that on and see it in action. Automatic. Oh, is it going to crash into it? Nope. Perfect. Just what we want. Fully automated, fully understood by the system. Now if we were to turn this one on, it would also not crash into it. But then this one would go and it'd crash into the behind of that one. So we'll have to add a few more signals. So we'll want this train to wait around, right, probably there. Perfect. And you'll want to segment it into better blocks, so like that. Perfect. So there's a block for depositing, in between, depositing, in between. As you add more trains and there's intersections and it gets more complicated, obviously you're going to have a lot more signals, a lot more blocks, but this is good. Let's just turn this one on automatic, see what happens. So you can see right there, it waits. Yellow means slowly go, green means go. Boom. Let's just see it in action. And they're going to do this all day till they run out of fuel. But you can see just how well this works. As soon as a train leaves the station, there's another one immediately there. And although they're not set to really stop at the stations, they're only waiting because of the rail signals, it's still a great system. Now, let's say we were to have an intersection. This is where it gets a little complicated. And you'll need to do a lot of playing around depending on what exact rails you have and the actual intersection. So for now, let's just turn both these off. Put them on manual. I'll put this one automatic for a bit, then quickly put it to manual when it gets there. Perfect. Now let's say we have another large rail going, oops, straight through. Not very convenient. Well, rarely is in Factorio. You gotta work with what you have. So let's see. Let's say we have a train stop here, and just to make it a little complicated, let's say here. Oops. Putting train stops. Okay, so it's gonna go same direction as the other, counterclockwise. So one there, and another there. Just like that. And let's put our train down. Okay, so if we were to turn on systems right now, it'd go haywire, right? I'll turn these on just so that we have something to look at. Actually, I won't. But if I turn this on, it would go, boom, crash into it, right? Because there's no signals for it to read. And actually, since I just put these rails in, it's a complete mess. It's now reading the entire thing as one. So, just looking at this as a puzzle, as an equation, as a problem, where would you put the signals? Well, step one would be to put them on the correct side. So you want it to read this part, right? So if there's anything here in front, we could put another, let's say, here. Perfect. And we will attempt to expand this to 2 trains on this rail. But for now, let's start with 1. Makes it a little less complicated. Something like that for the future. So the train would come here. It'd see that there are currently trains on the way going through, and it'd wait. Or vice versa. This one rail would be partially going through. This one would see there's something happening, it'd wait. So how do we do this? Well, you don't want this train to stop if there's nothing going on either side. So something like this. And you can see it's reading red because, well, there's a huge train here. And once it actually does stop here, it's going to read red again because there's another train there. And let's put this one about... Well, do we need one there? Possibly not. And you want to make sure when you're designing these signals that they fit the train size you have. So you have to accommodate for 5 total blocks, right there. 1 locomotive and 4 wagons. So if I just shove this one right here, it's only going to have space for 2. Not really efficient, kind of crappy. So ideally you want to place them so that you can see where all 5 blocks are going to be. Parts of the train. So something like... I guess that works. Perfect. Okay. This should work. Let's set these to go first. Oh, is it going to crash into it? Nope. Perfect. Will this crash into the other? Nope. Perfect. And when these trains are reading the signals for the same track, you want to make sure, and this is where a lot of people make mistakes, that they don't read a separate faraway track. Because it's really easy to just say attach something like a second track, right? If you have multiple on the same network, blah 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 blah, far away in La La Land, to this copper mine. But then you look at the blocks and you're like, hey, why is this train not going? Well, it's reading that there's some random crap on this faraway network where it doesn't need to read and it stopped for no reason. So right now these 2 are perfect. They're going to keep going forever. How are they on coal? They're good. So let's turn this one on. Right now it's just set to go in a circle like the others. It's here at Inky. Going to go here to Ethan C. Gamer. Come back here. Let's see. Are they going to crash? Nope. Perfect. And this one wants to go, but it's going to keep waiting until this one is done. And you can see, because this is such a small network, they will actually all continue waiting indefinitely. So probably you'd want your network to be a little larger, obviously, like across an entire map. And especially if you're going to have gargantuan trains with all these wagons. So could we troubleshoot this with rail signals? We could. This could be made more efficient, because really, you don't need a rail signal. Wait. Yes. No. No. But what you could do is there's a lot of wasted space, right? This train could pull up here, which would allow for this one to move up, which would allow for that one to go. So we're going to try that real quick. We're going to put it so it breaks right up to the train. And this one wants to go, but it's still reading this as an entire block, so we could maybe squeeze by with something like this. It's going to park just before. Oh, that is unfortunate. Look at that. It is just barely being blocked. And they cannot be put any closer together. So for this tutorial, let's just remove a wagon, right? There we are. Now it should be going, but it's not, because it's reading this entire thing as a block. So really it should only stop if there's something directly right here. You can quickly change that by doing this. Oops, sorry. That. Wait. There we are. So it's going to stop here, and it's going to read if there's anything right here, it's going to go. And if there's anything right here, it's going to go. So let's see. You'd want to do something like that. And like that. Perfect. I'm not sure why this one is waiting. It should be going. Out of fuel? Nope. Set to manual. Pfft, I have no clue why. What in the world? Alright. Oh. You can see even though... Oh wait, I think we can add a wagon back actually. Let me try when it has to stop. Wow. See how narrowly it avoids accidents? Just instantly stops. And if you have, what is it, nuclear locomotives or nuclear-powered locomotives, I think, they stop even faster. And there's various research technologies, I have them all on this world, where it's braking power. Yep, see? Braking force. And it's on this world, which is why they just stop and go instantly. Boom, 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 boom. Probably in your worlds won't be 7, because that's a little ridiculous. Now right here, you'll have to troubleshoot why it stopped. And this is a huge part of signals in Factorio, right? I think it's set to manual again, and I don't know why it keeps doing that. I'm gonna just try to do that. Fill these up with fuel, I guess. I'm not sure why it keeps going to manual. Maybe I'm pressing something on accident. You can see this one is going max speed, and it's going to stop instantly. It's going to wait for this one to go. That one's going to go. It's going to start going. This one's going to start going. And you could make it more efficient, as you can see. Like when the tail end is right here, you can have this one already going. So for that, you could do something like boom. So now, see, we're about to see it right in action. As soon as this tail part is gone, it's going, just like that, even faster. That's also a large part in rail signals, efficiency. The more accurate and precise you make these blocks, much more faster. You can have 100 trains. You can have 100 trains on the same network, but if the blocks are poorly designed, if the signals aren't there, if there's too many, it's going to be a mess. You might as well just have one. pretty simple, pretty simple. Now, let me stop this one briefly. I could have done it at a better spot. Right here. Works. 1, 2, 3, 4. It should all be connected. Not sure why this one is open and the others aren't. Oh, I need more coal. Alright. It's going to be the exact same path as the other. Oops. But this time, it will be a little better. A little busier. So, let's turn it on and see. See, it's waiting and the train currently going. It's gonna wait there, gonna wait there. So actually, all these trains can have 4 wagons, very convenient. This one is waiting, because this one is, because it's off actually, so, bit of a jam. Quickly turn this one on. Let's see how it works. Perfect. Well, not so perfect. See, this is what I said earlier. So there's a rail signal here reading this entire block, which is really just completely unnecessary. So what you can do is see, okay, well, this train would stop at around here. Let me stand at it, you can see. So add another signal right, well, it's on a curve, so it's a bit awkward, but right there. Boom. These are going to keep going until they're out of coal. And, I'd have to say that's episode 1. You can get much more complicated with these, crazy stuff. There are people who build entire circles, like, and just craziness, and trains constantly going at nuclear speed, the max limit for the game. They'll spell out stuff with the trains. Just crazy spider webs. There's a million terms I don't know or forgot. But, those are the basics, you know? And, one last thing. The signals do not detect if you're standing on them, so they will just crash straight into you until you move or die.